I guess the most impressive thing coming into this game, in the first 3 games, Rainier Beach had 34 steals to 14 for their opponents, so they're a plus 20 there.
You know, I got a stat to top that. I'm going to give it to you in just a moment after this free throw. Jamal 2 for 2. If you look in the state official program and you add up all the scoring averages for the Rainier Beach players, it totals 106 points per game. They average 80 per game, so
well,
I don't want to say anybody's fudging, but they are generous towards each other. Crawford 2 out of 3.
Looks good on paper.
11-point Rainier Beach lead inside a minute in the opening half. Tim Ellis getting a hand on a basketball.
Well, very poor pass by Weller that time.
Good young talent on this Rainier Beach team. Ellis, a sophomore. Carl McGinnis, who sees some pretty good amount of playing time, a sophomore. We talked about the 2 guards, sophomore and freshman. So even after Jamal Crawford and Heath move on, a lot of talent left. And William Conroy, the freshman, number 5, is in the ball game as Bigelow lets loose.
You know, I'm not going to put this all on Mark Bigelow, but I really wonder about the eye because he is an excellent shooter from 3-point range, and he's really been off tonight. I've never seen him shoot this poorly.
Set up for 3, coming up short. King with the board.
You know, interesting statistic that most people don't understand, that 75% of all shots that are missed are short. So you got to get your legs in it, especially when you're shooting that three-pointer.
Well, and something to keep in mind, day 4 of a 4-game tournament, some players frankly lose their legs earlier than others.
Exactly.
And that's not to say we don't know what's causing the shooting problems for Bigelow. Maybe a factor. Crawford way outside. Rebounded by King. Put back. Second try. No good. No, that really wasn't. Now, I will say that was not a bad shot by Jamal in my estimation, and that if he missed a long rebound.
The only real negative that Rainier Beach has going, 9 total, 5 of them by Jamal Crawford.
Olympia ball to start the second half. Original starters for the Bears back out on the court. The board penetrating, had a great opportunity, couldn't finish.
King got his 11th board that time. You know, it'd be great to be able to rebound like that without having to jump.
Same original starting 5 as well for Rainier Beach. Heath with the left hand. Bigelow with the board. Three-pointer long by Weller.
Not a bad look, but I don't know if you want it that quickly. One pass and shoot it.
Haas did a nice job setting the pick to free him up. Wild shot that time by Tim Ellis. King's offensive putback, no good. Olympia basketball, 12 rebounds now for David King.
Scott Ost wanting the official to please remove David King from his back or give him the saddle if he's going to ride him.
Beach with some full court pressure. One pass breaking it. To board. King called for the block. You know, if he'd have stayed straight, David, he might have drawn the foul, but he turned and got the call against him.
It's kind of a halfway between a pull-up and what we call a slide shot, and you're right. He got the ball on the board right there as we saw the first attempt in the second half and missed the point-blank lane, and you've got to make those things. You know, I got a saying, pick it up along the way. Miss lay-ins are a turnover, and that's exactly what happens when you miss a lay-in. More likely than not, the other team gets the ball, goes down and scores on you. You know, Olympia only shooting 58% from the free throw line coming into this championship game.
Crawford, 3-ball Jamal Crawford.
I don't know why, but I had a feeling that when he went down, right down in front of us, he was going to put the ball up that time.
13-point Rainier Beach lead. Well, Dave, that's the same spot as he hit in the first half from, and in that same rhythm.
A little bit of frustration by Olympia right now that I have not seen from them in this tournament.
You see the ball handling skills of Crawford. Heath with a follow. King with the board, can't get it. Gets the board again, goes up, foul, he'll head to the line.
Oh, they're calling the jump ball. Possession arrow still for Rainier Beach. 2 more rebounds.
That's where I jump in and say, my bad. Thought it was a foul.
That's okay.
Rainier Beach on the ball.
David King actually got off the ground that time to get that first rebound.
Rainier Beach hoping to add to its 13-point lead. King inside, double team.
Neil Swanson in for the Bears.
You know, there's something you said for that old saying that big guys are still big at the end of the ball game. You know, they remain big. Little guys get tired.
Heath for 3. Juergens out to Swanson, driving in. Neal can't finish.
Well,
It's 2 blown lay-ins.
I'm kind of wondering why he switched and went across his body and then came back with the right hand instead of taking the ball right to the basket.
2 missed lay-ins this quarter for Olympia. Crawford on the move. Short. Swanson, nice job. 3 missed lay-ins. Bigelow.
At least they capitalized on that trip down the floor. If they'd have gone 0 for 3, they would have really dug themselves into a hole.
Heath gets the lay-in. Now that play was made by Tim Ellis, who sealed the Bear defenders, creating the lane on the baseline for Heath to take advantage of.
Exactly, but no help whatsoever, no rotation by Olympia that time.
Philip Heath claiming I didn't reach in and hold him. I reached in and he grabbed my arm and pinned it to his body.
Yeah, not tonight. He's not going to get that call.
Out of bounds, Olympia.
Rainier Beach has been in that zone the entire game. As head coach Mike Bethea referred, if it ain't broke, we aren't going to fix it.
That's
so they're
right.
Going to stick to it until Olympia can cause some damage. King with a rejection.
Yeah, that's not fair to be able to block that shot by not getting off the ground.
Nice job that time by Bigelow to seal Mateo Jack on his backside, creating the passing lane that allowed him to get the shot off.
Mateo Jack, his second
foul line, Jack.
I still get the feeling, though, Tom, that Olympia is not fluid in their offense, and they're hesitant at times to look at the shots and look at the basket and take shots. You know, John Kiley was the point guard on the Olympia team when they won the title in what was that, 86, I believe.
An Olympia grad, back coaching at his high school. Not a teacher at the school, he's a stockbroker.
Well, that's why he dresses so well.
It's safe to say he remains bullish on his base.
Very good.
Crawford, the crossover. Putting it home.
The one thing about Jamal that amazes me is even though he floats, he doesn't charge very often. He's very much under control.
Rainier Beach trap.
Yeah, he shoots a lot of balls on the way up and gets rid of it very quickly. And the ball, even though it has rotation, floats.
You know, he's a young man who rarely shows emotion. His demeanor basically stays the same through the good times and the bad times. Showed a little bit last night in the Mercer Island game, but not much. Or excuse me, in the Mount Vernon game, but not much. Juergens thought about it.
But see, neither Juergens or Swanson caught the ball and got it ready. They were merely passers, and you can't be merely passers on the perimeter. You've got to be scorers.
Now.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Tonight's attendance, 8,134. A four-day total of 58,534, beating the old record by 5,500. And when you're with these guys, there's an awful lot of house paint missing out of the city of Olympia. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, John. Good to have the Horton clan in the house for the ball game tonight.
You know, my only advice to John is you got to interview the cheerleaders. The heck with those crazy guys with paint all over their bodies.
3:44 left in the third quarter. Rainier Beach basketball. Vikings up by 13.
Olympia needs to get a few stops. They need to make a